If there was anything that I would want to utilize to locate equipment on a regular basis and be absolutely sure I could find it, Blue Ocean Gear would be the equipment that I would ask. That is undoubtedly the most effective equipment I've ever used.
I mean, one of the interesting things about fishing is that, if you go to the deck house, loaded with electronics, but in most cases the fishing gear is the same as it's been for 200 years, right? People are using the same nets, the same traps that their great-great-great-great-grandfathers used 150 years ago. And we as a company saw an opportunity to come bring technology to the fishing gear, which is often, it's not as large a capital expenditure as a boat, but it can be pretty close in some fisheries, and the need to protect that.
So Blue Ocean Gear is a Silicon Valley tech company, and we provide smart buoy technology for commercial fishing fleets to help track gear out on the ocean. And what this does is it helps prevent gear loss, which can otherwise lead to ghost fishing, as well as a significant source of ocean plastics. About 640,000 metric tons of gear is lost in our oceans every year. For every fisherman, that's about 10 to 30% of their gear at the end of the season has become lost. And the impacts are both financial and environmental. In addition, the smart buoys are equipped with other sensors, so now we can provide ocean data on what's going on out on the water for commercial fishing fleets as well as other industries. What we've done though is design a product that is applicable across a wide range of gear types and fisheries. So right now we have customers using traps, but also long lines and gill nets and aquaculture farms and deep set buoys, fishing aggregate devices, the list goes on.
This is our buoy. It is buoy 698, and Chugi and his team have been testing this and 9 other buoys through the deep set swordfish fishery here off the coast of Southern California for the last 3 or 4 months.
We've talked about it in the past that it would be nice to be able to electronically monitor the gear. Where that really comes into play is at night, adverse weather conditions, fog. These are all real stressful situations. It's a great tool because it seems to make the fisherman's life a little easier. Biggest benefit is probably stress reduction. When you have a smart buoy on there, on the line, you don't have that stress. If you want to soak later, you soak later. You pick up when you want to pick up, which is a benefit. That adds fishing time. That more than likely that'll add catch. It is a good tool. I think that once the fishermen start using them, I think that many of them will catch on right away. There's really a good feeling to know that you can just go to your plotter and see where your buoys are at any one time.
Off the island in the morning, found one of the 2 right away within like 20 minutes, and then we searched for the other one for maybe 2 or 3 hours. We catch more fish because of it, because we know we're bit right away, and we can get to that buoy and get the fish right away instead of it just pulling around for a while and possibly pulling the hook or whatever. We didn't even have to pay attention to the gear all day. We just set it and forget it.
So one of the things that we learned after years and years of working with fishermen is that creating technology that can reduce ghost fishing is great, but we also needed to create a technology that was going to help the industry. There'd be an additional incentive for them to buy it, to use it, and so we've got this sweet spot of being able to track their gear and provide that ocean data. Not only keeps them from losing their gear, but it also helps them operate more efficiently. It saves them money and fuel. It gives them an idea of how to fish better, how to fish with more information. Having the smart buoys equipped with sensors such as GPS, accelerometer, depth, temperature, all of this combination of sensors lets them know what's happening out on the ocean, and it affects what their response is. That data is transmitted either via radio or satellite to our cloud database, and we have multiple different ways that they can interact with that information depending on how they operate as well. So we've worked very, very closely with the fishermen to understand what will work with them and what won't impede their own operations. They're working so fast out on the water and nothing can interrupt what they do. So we tried to make a technology that was familiar and very easy to use and could be integrated right in with all of their gear as well as their onboard systems.
The neat thing is that, when you put that buoy on there, I mean, it's like I drive right to it. there's no time, there's no loss, I'm not driving around for an hour looking for things. If the weather gets really bad, which it does, you know, quite frequently, and you get so much, you know, interference on your radar that all you see is little white dots, again, I can just go right to the buoy. The buoy is, you know, it shows up on my phone. I drive right to it. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's within a couple of feet of being absolutely accurate. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really happy that, you know, these work so well with the cell system, because it's just perfect, absolutely perfect.
Engineers can spend all day in a lab designing, but it's not until you get out in the field and work with your customer and really know them that you're going to design something that makes a difference and that they'll actually use. We like to say that we're giving them the superpower of being able to see where their gear is and being able to have their gear talk to them of, you know, hey, something funny is happening. It's moved this far, or it was underwater and now it's resurfaced.
It's just a win-win for everybody. I really think that once people understood the value of and how easy it is to use, I just don't think everybody'd be saying, hey, I want some of those, you know?
So many people in the world that depend on seafood for their source of protein. So many cultures and economies depend on the fishing industry. But we need to change the way that we think about doing it. We need to change the gear so that we can allow fishermen to operate more sustainably. We now have data that no one else has been able to see, and it's amazing for the fishermen, but it also has a lot of potential to be used for other industries operating out on the ocean as well.
Our objective is to make sure this is as pristine as we can keep it, because this is where we make our living. This is what it's all about, you know. So, yeah, we want to take care of it the best we can.